Hey everybody, AJ here really quick. I wanted to say that this week you may notice a little bit of crunchiness on the audio. It's just from some growing pains. I'm trying out a new software, Blake and I are still recording remotely, and with it comes a little bit of learning and growing pains that need to come out of making sure that we're able to give you the best product possible. Because of that, this week's a little bit rough, but I can guarantee you next week we're going to sound like angels. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get you guys into the show. Hello everybody and welcome back to Spiritual Successor, a comedy video game design podcast inspired by Polygon's Cool Games, Inc. I am your host, AJ Hart.
And I am your other host, Blake Rea. AJ, how the hell are you this week?
I'm very, very good. Very chipper. I'm very filled with cereal. It's all I've eaten for the last 8 days. Yummy, 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 yummy.
That's not good for you, brother. Actually, it depends. Which cereal are you eating?
It's
like there could be
Special K fruit and yogurt. So it's got your grains, it's got your fruit, it's got your yogurt, which are, of course, the 4 basic food groups, right? Milk, fruit, bread, and yogurt.
There's also, like, protein.
Bro,
actually,
that's what
yogurt,
the milk is. It's whole milk. So it's got the proteins in it.
Does milk have, like, high protein in it? I always felt like milk was more fat than it was protein.
You got to get the special milk like I do.
Okay. Well, I mean, we could just ask the Milk and Dairy Network. I'm sure they would know.
Well, the thing that I do is I put, what is it that, like, protein powder that whey? Is that what?
Oh, so you're getting yoked?
Well, that's where my protein comes from. I'm on an all-whey
your bones are growing
diet.
Muscles? You can flex. Dude, have you ever seen a femur flex? It's pretty fucking insane.
The bones?
Yeah, the bones, man.
Is your femur the thigh bone or the shin bone?
I believe the femur is your... Wow, I just took a fucking anatomy class. Yes, it's your shin bone.
You just took an anatomy class?
I took an anatomy class about a year ago, and to me, that's just took an anatomy class.
That's basically having just happened, yeah.
That's basically just having. I know that your fingies are called the phalanges. I know that one.
You know that one from the class, not from just, like, normal life skills?
I grew up with people calling fingers dedos, which is like the Spanish word for it. Like,
that's
you
not
gotta
very scientific.
like,
hold on, somebody's calling me.
But they know you're podcasting. Is your mom again? You have to put her on the phone. You have to put her on the podcast.
Somebody's calling me on Discord. Who would that?
Oh.
Blake, why are you calling me on Discord?
I'm not calling you on Discord. Honeypop is calling you on Discord.
No, it's not Honeypop. Like, it says Mr. Flannel.
Wait, what? No, that doesn't make sense. I'm not... No, like, legit, that's not me. Here, pick it up. Let's see who it is.
Hello?
Well, I called you forever, like at 10:37
now.
That's weird. Yeah,
if you go to our Discord right now, it says, I missed a call from Mr. Flannel that lasted a few seconds today at 10:37 a.m.
Uh-huh.
And then it says that I started a call at 11:19. What the hell?
Holy shit, dude, we got ghosts. We got ghosts on the Discord.
Or somebody snagged your account.
I doubt that. Like, I would get like I don't think so. Like, I don't know who would have access to it. I don't leave it on any public spaces other than my computer at the studio. So maybe somebody's breaking into the studio. Who knows?
Bummer. Hey, did we just get attacked by a ghost? Is a ghost trying to interrupt our podcast?
I don't know. We might have gotten attacked on live air. That's fucking spook. That's like legit spooky a little bit.
Good news. You're offline on Discord now, though.
Yes, I just closed it. So if you can keep an eye out for that for me to make sure some Joe Schmo isn't hacking my account, I would appreciate you.
All right, let me shoot him a message to see if he responds. Hey, bro, sorry. I missed your call. What's up?
Dude, what if you got a message back? That would that's terrifying.
If I get a message back, I know that you're fucking with me.
No, like legit, AJ. I'm like I know we're on the podcast right now. I know we're like on. Legit, I didn't just call you.
Really?
Yeah, like legit. I called you earlier today because like when we were supposed to meet at 10:30 to record this podcast, I tried calling you on Discord and then I hung up because like I knew like, oh wait a second, we normally call through Facebook,
Did
not
it
Discord.
just make that call then?
No, I swear on my life, I did not just make that call.
Weird.
Yeah, I have no idea why that just happened. I think it could be like maybe like one of two things happened. Maybe I didn't hang up, like, but that wouldn't make sense because like the moment I closed the tab,
Yeah, the
it would
alternative
have hung
is that
up.
like it was trying to make the call for like 12 minutes and it just finally made the like bloop bloop of like, now it's time to call AJ.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
If I find out that a ghost is logged into your account, I'm gonna kick its ass.
How would you kick a Discord ghost's ass? Hey, that's a cool name actually, Discord Ghost.
Hey Blake, you ever seen Digimon?
No, I watched a much better anime called Pokemon.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
All the hate mail is going to come in.
If a digital ghost has broken into your Discord account to harass us, I'm going to leap into my computer like a digidestined. I'm going to gain a new digital monster friend that can speak to me, and I'm going to use all of my best traits to make it transform into a kick-ass, more powerful digital monster. And then I'm going to get your Discord back.
It just smash cuts to you being like, I'm going to be a digital monster owner, and you just headbutt your fucking computer screen. That's how this plays out, friend. I do got to say, though, the opening to Digimon was pretty fucking killer. I did like it a lot.
Digimon, digital
monsters.
Digimon are the champions. Hell yeah.
I wonder if I would still like it as an adult.
Hell yeah, we would.
Because I still love the Pokemon intro.
Do you remember the Digi-Rap from the Digimon movie?
No. What the fuck are you talking about? Is it as good as like dude, songs for like animated like movies based off of like kids television are so hit and a miss, because you can have things like Phil Collins where he did these 2 songs like You Got the Touch. That's not Phil Collins, that's was that Phil Collins? Who did You've Got the Touch from the Transformers
movie? You got the touch.
That song fucking slaps like you wouldn't believe.
The Digi-Rap also slaps like you wouldn't believe. I'm listening to it right now.
It is. Oh, it was made by Stan Bush. My bad. All right, AJ.
What?
It's been almost 8 minutes. We got haunted by a ghost. We're talking about child's cartoons that nobody gives a shit about anymore. What do we do on this podcast?
On this podcast, we talk about the Digi-Rap.
No, that's not what we do. For those who are new to the show and are trying to still figure out what the fuck we do, we are a comedy video game design podcast where we come up with we are a comedy video. Stop! I'm talking. We are a comedy video game design podcast where we take your lovely ideas from Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, and email and turn those into the next AAA video game titles.
Wait. One of those is not official channels.
But they got to figure it out. Like they got to take a gamble. So that just means you got to go to each one of our social medias and maybe follow and maybe post or maybe interact. I don't know. Just you'll figure it out, or listen to the backlog and then you can hear me say "fuck you" at a certain time during that pitch when AJ says it's not an official channel.
Huh?
Well, we have the explicit tag on.
That's a good point.
What are we gonna do?
So we take those suggestions and we turn those into the next AAA titles.
Yes.
Hey Blake.
And we yes.
Hit me with one.
I get to go first?
Yeah, you can go first. Because I'm just so generous and kind.
Or is it because you don't have a submission?
It's because I'm generous and kind.
It's because you're still looking up Digimon.
It's because I'm generous and kind.
All right. This one comes to us on Twitter from Glenn, quote, Glenn. I'm so sorry, friend. I don't know if I could pronounce
I believe in you. Just try it.
Uday? Glenn Uday? I apologize if I butchered your name. It's a lovely name. At Chartreuse Poet. Cat Lady Simulator. AJ, I think cat ladies are often shit upon because, they're like the people that have like the 20 cats in their house. I mean, some cat ladies are bad. Like there was like that one woman who got arrested for having like 100 cats.
Yeah, that sucks.
And like some of them are bad. But like, I think cat ladies are like today, like modern day druids. You know why? Because they live among the animals. They live among the cats. They become one with the cats. I don't know if you've ever smelt a cat lady, but they definitely smell like a
They
cat.
smell a little bit druidic. Yeah. I think that's like the kindest way we can really describe it.
I'm going to use that the next time, like, one of us smells bad. Like, man, I'm smelling like a druid today.
Yeah, conventions have a little bit of a druidic smell. Well, no, because that's like a barbarian smell, right? Like the druidic sense comes from like in nature.
What is
smell?
You're right.
You're
right. Like one is like earthy, and the other one is just pure. The smell of adrenaline.
Just smells like dude.
Smells like horny.
Yeah, because that's all conventions are full of.
I used to not believe that, but then I started going to like Anime Expo, and also I'm on the Anime Expo fan page on Facebook. It's just horny. It is like one of the horniest hot spots in the world, and God bless it. I love it. I love that shit. Well, because it's like so positive. Like,
wait. As much as I would love to get into the intricacies of the horniness of the anime community, which definitely needs to be assessed and looked at and examined with a thoughtful lens.
All right, we'll do a special episode.
We need to talk about Cat Lady Simulator, the video game.
All right.
Now, how do we make this different than Neku Atsume?
I think, okay, so Neku Atsume, if I remember correctly, is just you're a cat owner that's trying to get more cats to live in their house.
Yeah, you had like, it was like a little phone mini game where like all these different stray cats would come by your place, and like if you had food out, they would come in, and if you had like a little samurai hut, then the little samurai cat would show up in your yard, or if you have...
Okay, so what is the end goal? Because like I can already picture like say a druid comes to LA and now they're living Los Angeles LA life and they just start attracting a shit ton of cats.
Okay, hold on. Is this a real druid or is it just a person?
It's a real druid from like the Forgotten Realms, basically. So they come to suburban LA and are like, all right, I guess I have to attract. They just start attracting a bunch of cats? What do they do with this power?
Okay,
maybe the player has the option. Like, could you do a thing? Because everybody loves cats. Even the people that say they hate cats love cats, right?
Yes.
It's a bad generalization, but you could do a thing where maybe they become like your little team of pickpockets. Like, like how those people would hire like a bunch of little toddler kids that would roam the streets and pickpocket you?
Yes. I remember that from my times in England, because that's all they do there.
Well, you're from England?
Yep. Oi,
wow.
Gov.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a bad joke.
We just lost our like 2 UK fans.
Damn. So here's what I'm thinking. Okay, you bring up a really interesting idea, because one of the problems with simulators and like the worst thing about like a crazy cat lady sim is going to be the fact of like there's no personalization. There's no end goal, right? Like that's one of the problems with a lot of simulators, is that you run out of the end goal. But what if we can do like a simulator with an end goal, and maybe it's different based on different class, right? Like if we go with the idea that we are a reverse isekai, gathering up cats for some sort of purpose. For a druid, you need to gain more and more cats so that you can slowly build up druidic magic. That
way you can teleport yourself back home?
Yeah. For a rogue, you're trying to get as many cats together so that you can train them to go be burglars, and they will steal lots of birds and sushi to bring home to you so you can get money and never run out of food.
So like you can choose your classic D&D class, and then at the beginning of the game you get teleported to another world, which is just suburban like metropolis.
Yes.
So then like depending on what class you do, that dictates what you can do in the game and how you get back home.
All we're doing is taking Neko Atsume and giving it an RPG element.
I want to try something.
All right.
So like this is definitely stereotype. But like the stereotype is that like people who have like hundreds of cats are a little bit crazy, right? What if there was a reason behind that? Like it's not they have cats because they're crazy, but having that many cats drives you crazy. So like what if you have to balance a thing where you are collecting cats, but like the more cats you have, like maybe it affects your sanity level. So where you can't do missions as accurately or something. So it's like a fine balance between having the exact cat for the job versus like playing with fire kind of thing.
Holy shit. This is okay.
Is that like I just don't want to clarify. Is that like a mean thing to do?
What? Say that people that own 47 cats are crazy? No,
Yes.
that's not crazy. Could you imagine? Like,
Okay, so that's I just wanted to clarify that because like I love cats.
The
I love
only
having cats,
reason
and
why
I
you
think
should own
having a
40
shit ton of them is fun.
the only reason why you should ever own 47 animals, period, end of sentence, is if you are running a zoo.
That's fair.
Alternatively, an ant farm. You can have 74 ants in an ant farm, but like that's like the only two things that would make it okay.
Are you saying Tiger King isn't crazy?
He's nuts.
But he has a zoo. He has like 40. I don't know how many tigers or cats he has, but
Shit, he was technically operating a zoo. Well, he's crazy for different reasons, not for owning the zoo.
That's fair.
Okay.
Okay. So go back to your idea, please.
But like, here's the idea. It is you are a crazy cat person, and you are. Did you ever play like Assassin's Creed?
I've played most of them, yeah.
Okay, do you know the Brotherhood system where like you could send the assassins out on jobs?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what it is. We're scrapping all of the
shit.
RPG elements. You are just a druid.
Okay.
Because you need to be able to talk to the cats. You are a druid swept away out of the Forgotten Realms into our real world.
Mm-hmm. And you're training your team to do various missions.
You're training the cats to go out and do various missions for you.
What if you did it?
It isn't necessarily that you are crazy, and like it's not that you're going crazy. I think that like you have a level of like if you continue to just do sporadic jobs, you will build up a meter that's like the town thinks you're crazy, and if the town thinks you're too crazy, they're gonna commit you to a ward.
Oh shit! And you know, it'd be super crazy too. What if like oh god, where was I going with this? Man, I can't believe I forgot it. It was a good fucking damn it.
That's all right. Let's put a pin in this.
Okay, we'll put a pin in Cat Lady Simulator.
I've got another submission.
Tell me about it.
This comes from Caleb on Twitter at Busto314. A game based off randomly generated InspiroBot.me images. And there's an example image here that I just really like. And like I'm very tempted to click on the link and see what we can generate. But like the generated image that Caleb gave us as an example is a giant concert, what looks like maybe a metal concert based on the bright red lights and all of the scary looking people in the crowd.
I'm looking at it right now.
And in huge white font, it just says, "Find milk."
So is this basically like a thing? Oh my god!
Here's
like
my
say
thing.
we do. Okay, go ahead.
This image reminded me very much of Super Hot.
Interesting. How?
Because like Super Hot will like when you start a mission, it's just like very, very blatantly
Get out.
kill,
out, fight
punch,
your way.
dude, survive, onslaught.
Fuck, that game is so good.
When I saw that image of like big giant concert, find milk, just a simple 2-word command and seemingly an insurmountable possibility, I was like, oh, that's like Super Hot. And then I thought of like a very, very deep voice in my head, kind of echoey, saying, "Find milk."
Oh my god, AJ, hold on. I came up with a title. Stick with me for this. We call this game Mosh and Milk. How do you find the milk, AJ? How do you get your way through a concert? You have to mosh your way
I
across
figured
the
that
concert.
out based on the naming convention. You know,
So I don't know. You didn't respond, so like I didn't know if you were like following me or not. I don't know if that was a little bit complicated. It wasn't. So let's do a fucking mosh simulator, dude. Like you have to like. Oh my god, there's this one game that was really cool. Have you ever heard of the game called Ape Out? It's very similar to Super Hot in the sense of it's like big bursts of just gameplay right after the other. It cuts out the whole thing of like having to walk across like a hallway, like in some games where you have to like one area of fighting, do a little bit of exploration to another area of fighting. It's just like fight. So you do this thing where it's like you have to fight your way across the concert, but each area introduces a new kind of moshing style puzzle.
What if it's just
like,
a bunch of different concerts and you have to figure out what concert you're in and where the milk might be held in a concert like that?
I think that's the backdrop to it, but is that gameplay though?
It could be, right? Like it's a puzzler because like if you're at like a Megadeth show, the milk is definitely going to be in the mosh pit because someone's going to get like thirsty and they're going to try to drink some milk. But where's the milk going to be at an Ariana Grande concert, Blake? Where does
But, okay.
Ariana Grande keep the milk?
So, okay, I think if we go that way, though, then it kind of loses that speed, which I think is like the thing that makes this game kind of fun.
Okay, that's
because like if you're like, okay, let's say at the Ariana Grande concert, the milk is going to be in the costume room. That's where like they have all of her costume changes and that area where they hold it. That becomes kind of like a slow, I'm just gonna walk around and move things while music's going on. And like there's enough of those fucking games, man.
Unless it's a rhythm-based game.
Go on.
So every action that you take, every time you move a step, every time you would open a door, it has to be on the rhythm with the music. I'm thinking
is
like
that fun? I know it's very much like Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Cadence of Hyrule level, but like a puzzler.
I don't know if that works because in Crypt of the Necrodancer, it's like combat. It's like something that's satisfying. I don't think opening a door or moving a bottle to find a key underneath it that leads to a safe in where the milk is as like entertaining. It's like, like why is that satisfying? Why is that interesting to play? So I feel like, let's say we take that method. We know that let's just go back to the original moshing idea, if you will.
Okay.
You are on one side of the concert. You have to mosh your way to the other side of the concert where the milk stand is. But getting there is always different according to what concert you're at. So if it's Ariana Grande, they're going to be introducing a bunch of cool dancers in the crowd that say
there's going to be a twerk pit.
There's going to be a twerk pit, and that might require you. What you can do is if you try moshing into their butts as they twerk, you just bounce off, so it becomes like a pinball sort of thing. So the puzzle there is that you have to mosh like forward, like you have to
mosh backwards.
Oh, so like you have to
what is twerking if not moshing backwards, Blake?
That's a hot take, but it's true. You're totally right. So like each concert introduces new things that require you to think differently. And it could be a thing where it's like you don't move like omnidirectionally. You have to like you rush and you only take 5 steps and then you stop. And then you could pick another direction. So it's like you have to like triangulate yourself just right to beat the puzzle.
Yeah, I like
so
that.
It'd be like, yeah, so it's like when you go into the first level, you have to go forward and then you can go to the side. But if you try hitting him diagonally, you'll just bounce off of their twerky butt.
Would you like another video game generated by Inspirobot.me?
I would love one. Thank you, Caleb.
I've got a big green square with what appears to be somebody laying down on the grass. And the text reads, "Don't you think that secret messages can be thoughts if you listen more to your head and less to your heart?"
See, when you said thoughts, I thought like secret messages were coming from thoughts.
Okay, yeah.
So is this just like a game like Monster Dating Simulator from Jackbox, where you're trying to figure out who the thought is? That's like the secret it's like Werewolf, but with thoughts.
Okay, better news. I found some fucking absolutely fucking. Who's the guy that directed Metal Gear? Kojima.
Hideo Kojima, yes.
I found like a full-on Kojima-ass one, dude. Like, I'm looking at a galaxy that's warping around an image of the Earth, and in big text it says, "Pregnancies are the flowers of perfection."
Okay, so Kojima has officially lost his mind, and he's literally going galaxy brain on this. Where he's like, I want to make a game that all the characters are just various planets.
Bro, this sounds like a line from a Kojima game, though.
I mean, it very well could be. Like, I haven't played... Like, honestly, like, I haven't played his newest game, Death Stranding. I kind of want to, though. But, like, that feels like a quote that can be ripped straight from the game. Like, I feel you could take a still from that game where somebody's talking and put that text there, and that will make sense.
Holy shit, I've got another great one.
All right, tell me about it. Actually, can I give... All right,
okay,
go ahead.
This is a kid skiing, and in text it says, "Can your friends cause the next ice age?"
So you're skiing to cause the next ice age. Oh my god.
You're on a giant mountain. A new mountain has appeared, a super mountain, the mega mountain. And your goal is to ski so hard and shred so much of that good white powder that you're going to cause horrible, like avalanches and snowstorms across every place that is near a mountain, and you are going to spread all of the ice from the mountain to the rest of the world, making a new ice age.
So you're trying to cause a...
I'm trying to cause an ice age based on how cool I am at shredding powder.
See, but like, you know what this reminds me of, though? This reminds me of the Aggro Crag from Nickelodeon.
The what?
You've never heard of You've had to have seen Nickelodeon Guts, right?
No.
Okay, so this is fucking crazy. I found this out like a little while ago listening to Story Break, but back in like 1992 to 1995, I think it was actually, it might have gone into the 2000s. It basically was like an obstacle course show where you had to climb this mountain where people were throwing boulders at you and like mist was going and lights. So I'm picturing could you do a thing like, say this game is an obstacle course getting up to the mountain, at the top of the mountain is like the thing that will activate the next ice age.
Oh, hell
could you do
yeah.
something like that?
And then you get to shred the massive gnar.
Oh, you know, it'd be super cool. Like that way, this way we know this mountain is magical, and we still get to do a skiing thing. It's an inverted mountain, so like the peak of the mountain is making contact with the floor, like the floor of the world, like the ground. But as you look up, the mountain like spreads out, like it feathers out, like it looks like an upside down mountain, basically.
Oh yeah.
So the moment you get onto the peak of the mountain, gravity shifts and now you're like upside down and have to ski your way to like the top, but also the bottom of the mountain. So like, and then at the top of the mountain is like the thing that'll activate the next ice age. And it's like this fun, it's just, I'm just trying to think of a fun world here, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. I have one more Inspirebot for you, and then I feel we should be going to people's hard
we'll go to people's hard
submissions.
work, actual labor.
Yeah, man, like we should be doing the submissions that people worked for.
Hit me.
Befriend bacteria. So this reminds me of what's that one anime called where you actually get to see cells at work? You ever see that?
Yeah, I've seen images.
So, like, what if it's something like that? Like, we actually are trying to befriend bacteria. Because some bacteria is good for you, if I remember correctly. Right?
Yeah.
Like, the bacteria in your mouth and in your stomach, it, like, kills bad bacteria?
Yes. So, you want a game where you, like, befriend all of the good bacteria inside of yourself?
Yeah, like, it could be... Oh, you know what'd be really fun?
A dating simulator?
No, I'm not going to... we've done so many dating simulators,
I know, but I already
AJ.
have the name for this one, and it's Love Yourself, and you're dating anthropomorphized versions of different things in your body.
Oh, that's cute, but can I pitch you on something else?
Okay, go.
You do it Papers, Please style, where you're like the main cell that's like, I want to let cells into my body. Or into this like Osmosis Jones style. Like he's a cop operating in the mouth, and he's like, all right, what's coming in, what's not coming in? And you do a Papers, Please thing. And depending on what you introduce into the body could either kill the person that you're working within
the
or
host.
for. Yeah, the host. And then you could do something like that. And maybe you can introduce a little dating mechanic. Like one person comes up and is like, hey, and like, that'd be kind of cool. Like, so what if it's Papers, Please stuff, but once you get off your shift, it becomes like a dating sim to where you can actually see the people you let in that day doing things. So like you can go visit them where they wanted to go. So like you let in one bacteria or that goes to work in the stomach. So you can go visit them in the stomach and see what effect they are causing.
Oh, that'd be nice.
So, and then maybe you can do a dating sim sort of thing with on top of that. So it's like, I know we talk about it a lot. Where we have these games that are like two games in one. I know that's kind of like a common thing, but like I just want to see more of those. I think games like that are so like Moonlighter completely changed how I want to play video games. Cause it's just such a cool thing to do.
Yeah, having two solid gameplay loops in one game.
Yeah. And that's so cool because that makes the game reach a much wider audience. Cause like for me, I wasn't a big fan of the shopkeeping thing. I felt like some of it was definitely fun and satisfying to get the price just right, and that made it worth playing. But like I definitely leaned more towards the combat. And
what's crazy is like you and I are on opposite ends on that. I really didn't care for the combat very much, but I very much enjoyed like managing a little shop and setting my prices right and putting different like things that would be harder to sell, putting that in the back of my store so that I could stop a burglar. Like I really enjoyed that gameplay loop.
And see, because it had both of those, it attracted both of us rather than just one of us.
Yeah.
And that made it a much stronger game overall. So I loved introducing games with that kind of idea in them as well.
All right, hit me with another game suggestion.
Alrighty, I got one for you. I still have not gotten a reply from the Discord ghost, and I feel cheated.
Oh, wait, let me check. Nope, no.
I mean,
no reply from the Discord ghost.
Fuck.
They just kind of in and out. Wanted to give me a quick call, let me know that you existed, and then they're out. Just a little warning, just a brief little reminder.
That's how most ghosts are, honestly. They just kind of like say hi and then they dip, you know?
Waste of my time. I hate small talk.
I don't think they care very much for that. Alrighty, I got another one. Actually, here, let me adjust my levels really quick.
All right.
Testing 1, 2. Okay. This one comes to us from Mel Bent at MelBentSSB on Twitter, a sports spin-off of the Metal Gear franchise. AJ, you know what I think Snake would be really fucking good at?
Polo.
I was thinking bowling.
Yeah.
I want to see. Okay, but here's how we do it though. Like I haven't seen a good bowling game since me Sports Bowling.
I haven't seen good bowling.
You didn't like Me Sports Bowling?
I don't like bowling.
Well, it's because you're a bitch. But understandable.
True, but mean.
I think you just need to go bowling more, dude. Like every time that you have gone. We have gone together, I feel like you've had a good time, haven't you?
I don't know. Bowling's so weird to me because I either have like I either have a good time or I have the most boring time of my entire existence, and there's no in between. I will say that I very rarely have a great time bowling.
All right, we got to change that. We got to go drink and bowl. That'll be fun.
But you know what is going to make me enjoy bowling a lot more?
What's that?
If I have to deal with a 2.5 hour cutscene between every like if somebody makes a strike, I want to see Snake give a long-winded speech about like how similar it is throwing a bowling ball and knocking down all these pins and throwing a nuclear warhead at a city.
Talking about the trials and tribulations of being a pawn in some bigger war. And all this shit.
He's like, every time he gets a strike. Like, I want it to be
I am but just a pin being swayed by the powers of bowling balls bigger than myself.
Another 12 pins down? Is that all they are?
Okay. I think a fun gameplay
Do they just exist to be knocked down for our amusement?
So I think what we should do, one thing that I've always kind of like thought about whenever I go bowling is like, how cool would it be just to have all these lanes to myself where I can just like grab one bowling ball, throw it, and then just walk to the next one and just do that for the entire like 25 lanes that are in one building, right?
Do you think that every time you go to a bowling alley?
Yeah, kind of. Like, it's just like, I don't know. Like, there's a power thing to it. It'd be just like, oh, fuck, how cool is that? Just have this this whole big space to myself where I can just throw shit at things. And that's just like, it just plays into that child aspect, I think. You know, it's just like, it's just fun. It's just, I don't know. I love bowling. I love going. Because it's just like something I guess I'm a little bit decent at and it makes me feel good.
There's just something very charming about the idea that like when you enter a bowling alley, like your mindset is like, I cannot wait to toss the absolute shit out of some little orbs.
Yeah, dude, it's so satisfying. But coming back to the game, I think it'd be kind of cool. So who's like the lead bad guy? Like, is there like an organization in Metal Gear?
The government?
Okay,
I've never watched a Metal Gear.
Okay, so terrorist government started taking over bowling alleys, and
wait, isn't there that one guy Ocelot? Isn't he like a big evil guy?
I think he's like an anti-villain. Like he's like Deadpool, where he's good on some missions, but like then he has his own agenda on others. Sorry, anti-hero is what I meant to say. So I think what you can do is, what if
now hold on.
Go ahead.
What the fuck would an anti-villain be?
A villain who does bad things but occasionally does good things. Like an anti-hero is a hero but occasionally does
like,
bad things.
You mean like Jack from Shaolin Showdown?
Oh, holy shit! That's a whoa! That's a pull. Oh my god!
Like
wow.
He's evil, but he doesn't want like the end of the world evil.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
God.
So an anti-villain is somebody that's out for personal gain, and a real villain's just somebody that wants to break everything.
Wow, holy shit, that's like... That gives me crazy flashbacks. Oh my god. Sorry, I just got hit with like crazy nostalgia and also like sadness, because I remember like the little kid was like really sad when he found out he wasn't like the chosen one. And like that, like...
Yeah, but Raymundo was. Fuck yeah, my boy Raymundo.
He was cool, but like I got so heartbroken because I like followed this kid who's like trained his absolute heart out and found out he's not going to be the one to do the thing he's trained his whole life for. And that's
what he gets for giving up to the darkness for an arc and a half.
I mean, sure, whatever, but like it still broke my heart a little bit, but that's beside the point. Let's get back to our bowling game.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about like early 2000s cartoons. Enough. But basically, I think it'd be so cool for the gameplay is that Snake needs to sneak his way from one end of the bowling alley to the other, but he needs to he needs to stop every now and again to do a bowling thing. Like that's how he distracts people. So like he can bowl at so he has to get one like right where the lanes are, like right lane number 1, then he needs to sneak his way to lane 25. But it's not like he can go like... It's not 3D. It's like it's Super Mario, where it's just like one guided path, and he needs to time it just right.
Might I propose another possibility, though?
Okay.
I want this to be a party game.
Mm-hmm.
I want this to be a game that you load up with a couple of your friends like you would for bowling, because here's the thing, right? Like, looking in today's day and age, we need social experiences.
Mm-hmm.
But we also need to remind people that the government's not here to help us and that they've got all sorts of hidden secrets and we're all tools for war and financial gain to them.
Uh-huh.
This game exists outside of canon unless we want to have a 3-hour setup for why all of the Metal Gear characters are playing bowling.
AJ, can you tell me that pitch one more time? I got distracted because I remember how attractive Wuya was from Shaolin Showdown.
Wait, Wuya was the ghost lady, right?
Yeah, but then she got in physical form with red hair. I'm sorry. I was like, hey, wasn't there like that pretty lady from Shaolin Showdown that was like super goth? And then I looked up a picture and I blanked. So let me repeat back to you what I heard. So this is a game that doesn't take place in the canon, right?
Wuya.
She's so pretty, okay? I'm sorry. I got distracted.
Wait, Raymundo was evil for a little bit too. How come he got to be the superhero?
I don't know. Like, it all was crazy. It was a crazy time.
Also, Raymundo's evil look was him just putting his hood up. And he was like, yeah. I'm going to put the hood up and I'm bad now.
I mean, this was a time when they didn't know how to make dudes look evil. This is like around the same time they had Tobey Maguire just floof his hair to one side. And they considered that like, yeah, he's a bad boy now. Not a fucking goober walking down the street like harassing people.
Okay, as for the Metal Gear bowling game, I don't want this to be some sort of huge setup where like Snake feels like he's in a life or death struggle for himself in this bowling alley, right? Like I don't want him sneaking lane to lane to lane. Mm-hmm. I want Snake to feel like it's not his life on the line in this bowling match. Mm-hmm. It is the life of countries on the line for this bowling match. It is less him being in immediate danger and more of like the existential dread of what comes with playing bowling with people you dislike.
Okay.
And so we can have all sorts of bosses that exist. Bowling. Blake, it's bowling. It's bowling. Like bowling-ass bowling. You know the game that sucks? Bowling.
You're incredibly wrong and biased. But
I'll tell you this much. We can use the Wii Sports Bowling. Like, we can go ahead and put this on the Switch and just have people play that bowling.
So what you're saying
Except the graphics are incredibly good, and if you get a strike, you have to sit down for 2 hours and listen to Snake or Raiden or Big Boss or Ocelot talk about
oh my god
the pros and cons of a war-based economy.
You know what you could do, though? Like, actually, how about this? So you can do a thing after every single game, depending on who won, triggers different cutscenes. So like, but then that way it's like, it's not like every strike, because then you'd have to come up with like 12 cutscenes for every single game.
Okay, but there is a monologue between on every strike.
Yes, there is definitely a monologue. It triggers extra story. So like it's more conversation or something like that. And the way you can do it is like that way you don't, because there should be some conversation after people reach a certain point threshold, not just strikes. Like once you reach 50 points, it triggers a monologue. Once you reach 100 points, it triggers a monologue. Once you reach 150 points, it triggers another monologue. So like you can, like, that's the storytelling there.
And the only way that you can get like the actual story of the whole game is you have to have 8 people with a perfect game.
Oh,
but
holy
as you do that,
shit.
like the further you get, the more in depth the cutscenes get, right? Like,
yeah.
Like if you have like just little points and stuff, like in between rounds, it's just going to be like, oh, Raiden bowls, then Snake bowls.
All right.
But if you're doing really, really good and you have like a cumulative giant point total, then after Snake bowls, then it's going to go into a cutscene with like special shots where like Raiden and Snake walk past each other dramatically, giving each other a head nod, and then Raiden can bowl.
All right.
You're going to unlock cutscenes if
that's
everybody does good.
All right. I just want to give you a visual, and I want you to tell me how you feel about it. So you know, like how Snake has this wonderful like beard.
Yes.
Imagine that beard eating like bowling alley cheesy fries. Just like get a little cheese mustache going, and then like, but you know what you can do? He keeps it through all of the cutscenes. So like at the beginning, oh, this is it. Because part of the bowling experience is playing. Like you can go to the arcade, you can get like food. Before you begin each game, you can actually go and do a couple of things. You can go do a couple hockey mini games, which will unlock like certain achievements. Or you find the person you're supposed to bowl in the arcade, and you're like Yakuza levels of like absurdity mini games.
Okay, but
and then you can go buy food, and then you can go do the bowling alley thing. And depending on what you eat, you'll have that through all the cutscenes. So like if picture Snake with a giant big gulp, and he's just going, while Raiden's like, the war is tearing me apart. I don't know if I'm a human or a machine anymore. You know, and he's like, it's like playing Fallout with like the Wild Wasteland perk versus playing it seriously. It just adds levels of comedy to it.
What I also love is that means that like you're gonna run into a scene where like you as Snake walk over to. Okay, here's how it works. I don't think that there's a menu system. I think that like when you boot the game up, you're in the bowling alley.
Yes.
And the menu is you actually walking around this bowling alley, and like so you can find hidden cutscenes. You can find interactions.
Think of it as a hub. When you're ready to
play, you have to walk down to the bowling alley.
Yeah,
and then you press select. Yeah, hub is a good way for it. No main menu, only the main hub.
Oh my god, I love that. And you know what you could do too? Like you can actually, because every bowling alley has its own little store, you can actually upgrade and buy different bowling balls. Like, and you could do a thing where like it gets absurd, because like the thing about Metal Gear has always had like this weird comedic thing. Maybe you can buy a bowling ball that's just an enlarged grenade. And that's just what you throw. It doesn't affect gameplay at all. It's just like it's just a cosmetic, you know. But like that would be funny that way, because like I feel like one of the big appeals about Metal Gear, I didn't like it when I played Metal Gear 5. I thought it being comedic took away from its more serious moments. But like that's a big appeal for it. People like the goofiness of it. You know, like there's a fucking oh my god, AJ, I have the best fucking opening cinematic. So you know, like how Ocelot does his beautiful gun twirls for like 5 minutes? I was about to
ask, is it going to be Ocelot doing fushigi with a bowling ball?
Holy shit, fushigi. I haven't heard that. It's just like that Freddie Wong fushigi master video.
I believe the technical term is contact juggling.
So he's just doing that
with a bowling ball.
Balls. He's like, I wasn't expecting to see you hit the tournament, Snake. And he's just like doing it. And you know what? Maybe he has a holster. Like he has holsters for his bowling balls.
I'm also very interested in the idea of like when the scene that happens when Snake goes into the arcade for the first time when we meet Otacon, and Snake's like, Otacon, what are you doing here? And Otacon's like, hey, Snake, I'm looking at Hydro Thunder again. Why the fuck is this in every arcade that's ever existed?
Otacon, what are you doing here? Oh, I'm here to repair the dollar machine. It only accepts dollars. It doesn't accept fives anymore.
All right, put a pin in this. We need to go to another
This
one.
is an amazing game. This is Nug potential, like hardcore. All right, let's do some lightning round stuff.
All right. All May, all day, no parade, in your eyes, at dust in your eyes, suggests.
Your name keeps
Shotgun. What? It keeps getting longer.
It keeps
and
getting
bigger
longer
and more
every time we
powerful,
read
and
it.
I love it. It's so funny to me. Shotgun Wedding, a redneck wedding planning
Oh
game.
my god.
We all, of course, remember My Big Fat Redneck Wedding, right?
What? Was that a Larry and the
My Big
Cable
Fat
Guy
Redneck
thing?
No, you.
That feels like
dimwit.
that feels like a Larry and the Cable Guy thing, hands down.
Yeah, it feels like a Larry and the Cable Guy funny haha sketch. This was a real show on HGTV.
Was this like, did this open or close for Duck season or whatever it's called? Not Duck Dynasty.
It was in the same era.
Uh-huh.
It was definitely not on the same programming block as Duck Dynasty because Duck Dynasty was a show for Fox. Duck Dynasty definitely wasn't a show for HGTV.
All I know is that they made a shit ton of money. Like, those guys were incredibly rich, and that was wild to me.
But we're not talking about them. Although maybe they make a guest appearance. Maybe they're the host. But I want to take My Big Fat Redneck Wedding and gamify it, right? Like, you get to do a wedding planner and, like, someone's like, oh, I have a budget of, like, a couple, like, $100. And you're like, all right. So the big, funny, like, archway with all the lights, those lights are going to be replaced with, drumroll please, beer cans. And we're going to poke holes in them so that they show light. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wow, AJ, that's a pretty specific joke that you had prepped for this.
Is this something you experienced?
This was something on the show.
Oh, God. All right. Oh, also, AJ, they're like, all right, so here's our budget for all of the dining ware. It's like mason jars, but how are they gonna eat off of that? Mason jars. You just gotta put the cake it in there, and so it's cake in mason jars. It's the main dish in mason jars. You gotta scoop up your food with either your hand or an even smaller mason jar. There's no forks here. There's no plates. There's no knives. There's no nothing. What are we gonna drink out of? I don't know if we have anything for that.
The bride is going to be walked down the aisle by her tractor.
Is this a thing that also happened?
I don't remember, but I do have great news. All 4 seasons of it are on Amazon.
I'm not watching it.
Watch it with me.
No,
Blake.
why? Why would I watch that? I have no
quarantine.
I mean, but you and I
What
can't,
else
like,
are you gonna do?
I don't know. Watch
Literally anything
I'm watching.
else?
Oh no, I'm watching Minefield right now, and that show fucking is rocks. It's great, but that's too
hit me
smart
with
for
another sub.
That's too smart for Redneck Wedding.
Too smart for me too. Hit me with another submission.
Persona. Oh, sorry. This one comes to us from Squid Noir at @SquidSystem_. Persona in reverse. You're a weird-looking monster thing who has to go into the real world to achieve mundane tasks while doing RPG stuff in the other world to improve your ability to do mundane tasks. So it just sounds like a monster that's trying to fit in. So, like, what were I only played like the first few hours of Persona 4. I have not touched Persona 5.
What's really cool about this is like you would go into like level up all of your shit and you'd be like you would want to grind and upgrade your illusory magic. That way when you're going through your day-to-day grind, this is exactly what you and I were talking about wanting to have 2 gameplay loops.
Yes.
One gameplay loop is the dungeoneering, I'm going to kick everybody's butt side where you're the monster. The other gameplay loop is I think maybe the other gameplay loop would be like a Papers, Please, maybe? Where like your magic will have like or like
I think just do it like the way they do it for Persona. It's like the day-to-day life stuff is visual novel. And then while you're in the other world, you have to like maybe it's an open world thing where you can go and grind on certain things. Like maybe you have to go to this magical forest to where you learn its illusions, and that'll allow you to like people can't see past your illusion, like your fake disguise.
Flip it.
Okay.
The fantasy stuff is all of the visual novel stuff where you have to talk your way into getting upgrades. the actual like 3D rendered space that you have to run around and explore in and stealth about, that's the day-to-day mundane.
Interesting. Okay. And then, so basically, what's the end goal? Because like Persona is like to go through 1 year in this life, and then there's like they're getting together to beat some threat. Is it that the whole thing is that it's like Invader Zim style, where it like they have one character who's trying to reveal them for what they are?
I think that the monster needs to have like a mundane goal, and I think it's to get he wants to get a promotion at their job.
Oh shit! Okay. So is it like
on one side they're going through a fantasy realm, conquering heroes, defeating evil demons, trying to keep harpies from destroying small villages, and then on their real goal is, God, I want to be the manager at Burgerville so badly.
Oh my God! So this is like, you know what the best comparison for this is? Devil is a part-timer.
Holy shit! Yeah, it's Devil is a part-timer, the video game.
So like he has like do we want to do a thing where their powers, because in Persona they don't really have powers in the real world, they only have powers in the nightmare realm or the
this monster would have powers in the real world, because that's where the gameplay loop is. That's where you need to have the powers.
So basically is there like a thing where they're trying to, like, I'm just trying to think of some of the mini games that can be played throughout it. So they have some sort of power that allows them to be really, really good at making burgers. Like they can like use their telekinesis to
pyromancy.
They can charbroil the shit out of it really easily. So is it a thing of like they're trying to use their powers without getting caught? So
yes, and that's where their illusory magic upgrades would come in. If they have better illusions, they can make the grill look better. They can make sure that their horns aren't popping out while they're using their pyrokinesis. Stuff like that. I would play a reverse isekai maintenance game.
I could. I would be down. Do you have one more lightning round, and then we'll choose our nug?
Nah, I think we got to go to the nug to keep our time down.
All right, let's do it. I think Metal Gear Solid Bowling, hands down.
I also think Metal Gear Solid Bowling, hands down.
Oh God, I love it. All right, so we got to do like.
What else do we want to talk about? Do we want to talk about how we're changing the gameplay at all? You mentioned like unlockable bowling balls. Is that something that we want to go in? Do we want to talk about like character skills?
I am I going off. So I'm just going to use Metal Gear Solid 5 as my like reference.
Okay,
so,
I'm using Metal Gear Revengeance as my reference, and those are the only two Metal Gear games that you and I have played, huh?
Very different games. So, okay, I think we should use the inventory management from Metal Gear Solid 5, but we use the over the top like sequences that Metal Gear Rising has.
Hell yes, I definitely want to have a thing where if Raiden gets a strike, the game if Raiden gets a strike, Raiden like takes his sword, puts it away, teleports behind all of the pinballs, cuts them all down. Not the pinballs, the pins. Teleports behind them, cuts them all down, and then teleports back to like where he was standing.
That's his strike. That's fucking radical. So
that's one of his strike animations.
Oh, you know what'd be really cool too? Like two things. One, you can choose what your ultimate is. So like when you get a strike, you can choose what animation it is. Or after you beat people, you actually get their animation. So like maybe what's it called? Like either when he defeats Raiden can be like, all right, here's my sword as a sign of like respect. Or he just, instead of using a sword, he just uses his combat knife on like his side or something. And that's how, and he like just like slices all of them. So you can do that. But from what I remember from Metal Gear Solid 5, there was a couple things you can do. One, your weapon was unique. Like you can modify all of the things that are on it. And in terms of like extras, you can do a one thing that might be really cool for this game. I forget what they were called. I think they were like called ghost cigars or like there's some, I forget the name of phantom cigars. What they would do is if you smoked it, it would slow down time. So maybe we can do a thing where like you can go to the bowling store and you buy a certain amount of cigars that you can use for this one game.
Okay, here's what it is. Every character has like a special ability, right? And so I think that like Raiden would have a special ability where when you go to bowl, the gameplay mostly plays just like Wii Sports Bowling. or Wii Bowling, except there's a button that says character ability, and then you can activate a character's character ability.
There has to be a versus
Snake,
where you like this is Smash style, where like after you beat them, then they are accessible in multiplayer.
Yes. There's going to be a plot line where you can unlock all of the different characters and stuff. Every character has like a special ability. For Snake, he's got the time cigars, and so you press the button, and then like the gauge that like levels how hard you're turning or like going up and down and all that, it's gonna slow down for Snake because he's got like cool smoking skills. For Raiden, he's got an ability where like once you've bowled, right before like the turn's over, you can press a button and Raiden will like target a pin, and Raiden will just terminate that pin with his cool sword skills.
That's rad. So he can like add one extra pin to his roll, basically.
For Ocelot, you activate the button and he does contact juggling with the ball, and he whips it and swirls it all around. And then
what are
when
you talking
press
about?
The button, he releases 2 bowling balls.
Yeah, I was about to say, is like he has multi-ball, like hands down.
Yeah, well, he reveals the second ball while doing his cool Fushigi stunts.
Oh, I love that. That's radical. Okay, let's go to boss fight. I think we know the name. It's Metal Gear Solid, like bowling, right?
It's just Metal Gear Solid bowling.
Yeah.
Alternatively, Metal Gear Solid Lynchpin.
No, I think bowling. I want to be on the nose about it. I think it's
but like
so
Metal
funny.
Gear's the kind of hold on. It's got a pun in it. It's got like the pin.
Yeah,
Lynchpin
but, like,
feels like a negotiation term.
No,
I
but
feel like we really got to lean into Metal Gear's like think about the other games that they've got. Metal Gear Solid,
Phantom Pain, Liberty,
Metal Gear
Sons
Solid,
of Liberty,
Rising Revengeance.
I totally agree with you. Like, I think that is on brand with Metal Gear Solid. But if I were to like just be a random person, like looking at games and be like, oh, this is just another fucking Metal Gear Solid game. But
That's what we want.
But if you put Metal Gear Bowling on it, I'll be like, how the fuck did they try and do that? Did they pull it off?
Metal Gear Bowling, people are going to just Google it, and I don't want people to Google it. I want people to go into this thinking that they're going to get
Google
the
it if it's
18-hour
Lynchpin.
Experience.
People would still
Or the
Google it if it's
18-hour
Lynchpin.
cutscene.
I mean, I totally disagree with you.
I vote Metal Gear Lynchpin.
It's on brand. I mean, I don't know. I don't like it. I think it's just so. It's not a game that shouldn't be made. It's just a game.
I'm vetoing Metal Gear Bowling.
Well, I think I like it. It's on the nose. It's funny.
It's
absurd. It's absurd, and that I think also leans into Metal Gear Solid, like as a brand.
Might I suggest Metal Gear Solid Bumpers of Liberty?
I was thinking Metal Gear Solid Pins of Liberty.
Is that too close to one of the Metal Gear games that already exists?
No, it's just Sons of Liberty.
we need like some sort of like patriarchally or like
patriotic.
Patriotic. Thank you.
Patriarchy and patriotism are very different. I mean, maybe.
And yet so similar in history, huh?
Yeah, right.
So we need a patriotic term and a bowling term. That's what I need out of this naming.
We got pins, we got bowling ball, we got bumpers, we got gutter. Oh, Metal Gear Solid Gutter Ball. Gutters of Liberty. Gutters
is good. Gutters is very good, but we still need some sort of patriotic word.
Metal Gear Solid American Gutters. Metal Gear Solid Freedom Gutter. Gutters of Freedom.
Gutters of Freedom isn't bad, but they've already used freedom.
I mean, like, fuck, I don't know. Because another thing we can do if we...
Metal Gear Solid Gutters League.
Gutters League?
Because, like, bowling leagues.
But that's not funny.
Damn it.
All right. AJ, just for levity, we will call it Lynchpin. How about that?
All right, Lynchpin it is. It's a good fallback one. All right, Metal Gear Solid Lynchpin.
Mm-hmm. And then my art, I'm going to go crazy and do bowling. Bowling.
bowling.
Yeah. So it's big neon lights and him with a snake with a cheese mustache. All right, that's it. Oh shit, we didn't do any bosses.
Well, I think all the bosses are just going to be like in canon Metal Gear characters. I don't think that we're going to be adding in our own OCs.
I want to take one of them because it actually is Metal Gear related.
All right, what do you got?
It's called Punished. This one comes to us from Elise, Ancient Meme Archaeologist, on our Patreon Discord. Phantom Harambe. It's Harambe, but in like, but dressed up
Punished
as
Harambe, not Phantom Harambe.
Sorry, you're right. Punished Harambe. And it's just Harambe has literally has Venom Snake from Metal Gear Solid 5. So I'm thinking
this will be like a secret boss.
This is a secret boss that maybe it starts out like, oh, this will be super cool. So like this is somebody tried cloning Snake, because that's something that has happened canonically in the series. It went completely wrong, and it just turned into a gorilla with a robot arm and an eye patch. So like you first find them like maybe like at the food counter. They don't talk, and then maybe you find them in the arcade, and you can do a kick-ass like air hockey thing where they smash the table as their super move or something, and then you finally get to bowl them at the end of the game. Like they're like, I've been watching you this entire time, you know, like this whole.
Punished Harambe also has 2-hour-long monologues, but they're done in sign language.
I love that, because he has a robot arm, so you just hear the of his fingers.
You hear the gears and the clicking the whole time. Yeah.
All right, that's a game, dude. Metal Gear Solid Lynchpin. Hell yeah.
Let's go to patch notes.
Let's go to patch notes, man. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Patch Notes. If you want to see some wonderful bowling Metal Gear Solid arts, check us out on Twitter at spiritual_. Actually, is it just spiritual suck or spiritual_suck?
Twitter is going to be spiritual suck.
Sweet. We make art every Thursday, and I release it early, usually on Tuesdays, through our Patreon. So check it out if you guys are interested.
Also, really quick, very soon here, we're going to be doing a guest episode if everything works out. So keep an eye on us for that in the next couple weeks.
Yeah. Until then, everybody, have a good one.
Thank you so much for listening. Our intro and outro music is Cheap Shot by Anamanaguchi, an excellent song from an excellent band for an excellent game. I've been your host, AJ Hart.
And I have been your other host, Blake Rea.
This has been Spiritual Successor, and these are cool games
that should not be made.